Hello, everyone. Let's take a moment to take a deep breath. Listen to the sounds of waves crashing along the shore. That's right. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to the ringing. Be one with the ringing. Be one with the waves. Feel the ocean emotion. Now, today's episode is about anxiety, because this isn't relaxing, is it? It's not working. No, it's not. But that's all right, because today's been interesting. But I think I have the perfect non-anxiety inducing scene for you if you are not jiving with the theme. Imagine this. You're driving along a road and all of a sudden the car breaks down. You're in the middle of nowhere. There is no cell service. It is midnight, and the only thing illuminating the landscape is faint moonlight. As you sit in your car waiting for another pair of headlights to appear in the distance, a thick fog sets in, and an owl hoots overhead as a shadow approaches. Now, wasn't that relaxing? If I wasn't already the host for the show, I swear I would be a great meditation instructor. Ah, I see.
Hello, and welcome to Water Fountain Review. Today's guest host we have Elena.
Hello, I'm excited to be here.
Wow, today we're going to be reviewing the water fountains on the first floor of the library.
Today we're going to be looking at two different water fountains on the first floor of the library. One is the LK-EZ-H2O and the other is the LK-EZ-S8L with FlexiGuard. The H2O is seen all over campus and is a fan favorite of those with water bottles, and the EZ-S8L is known all over the United States and is popular. Definitely remembered it from my childhood for sure. So, let's go ahead and get into the tasting.
All right, Elena, we're going to start with the EZ-H2O.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh yeah,
Very
it's neutral, filtered,
cold.
nice and cold. Not too cold though. I've had colder.
This is like a stray ice cube or two has melted into this water.
Yeah, it's been sitting out. It feels like it's been sitting out for like 1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
That's exactly right.
Okay, out of 1 to 10, what do you rate the ground floor EZ-H2O?
This is a solid 7.
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Fair enough.
All right, moving on to the next one. All right, now for the LK
With FlexiGuard.
with FlexiGuard. Cheers.
Cheers.
Less cold. It's a warmer.
A stronger taste somehow with water.
It does taste more for sure.
I I don't like this one as much.
Yeah, it's like drier. It leaves a.
It's almost like you need more water after drinking this water.
I'm definitely more thirsty than I would be than the other one.
Agreed. I think out of 10, I'm giving this one a 4. I actively disliked it.
Yeah, I think this is below average water. I'm gonna give it also a 4.
Don't go to the LK with FlexiGuard.
But if you're on the first floor, make sure you visit the LK Easy H2O.
Yes.
Now, we'll see you next time on Water Fountain Review.
Isn't that anxiety-inducing? Well, we have a little segment today. It's about anxiety-inducing stories. So we have our special guests, Brooke and Cole, and they're going to tell us some stories. Take it away, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us, first
Oh,
of
wait,
all.
I'm supposed to pick the prompt, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give it to you
Okay.
to choose. Would you like to go first, Cole, or would you like me to go first?
I don't.
Cole, are you thankful for us having you on the show today?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay. I guess since you're so hesitant, I'll go first.
I get to pick one?
Yeah, pick one.
Do I get to look? Considering
No,
that
you can't look. No, you can look now.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Well, you have to tell
You
us what
have
it
to
is.
tell us what it is.
Oh, I thought
What-
the
show
prompt
me what it
says-
is.
I showed you what it is. The prompt says, lost while looking for graveyard. Only great things can come out of this one. Brooke, kick us
All
off.
right. First of all, let me set the scene. I think I was a sophomore in high school. I don't remember. And me and my cousin, we were visiting some of our relatives in this little town on this river called Rising Sun. And our family had gone to this graveyard because some of our other family members are buried there. And we didn't go with immediately, but we were like, oh, we want to go find the graveyard too. Anyways,
Okay.
that was the premise of the story. Now, so we decided, okay, we're going to go find this graveyard. So we leave this little apartment and we start walking down the road, whatever. And we walk down the main strip. It's a tiny town, by the way. We walk down the main strip of the road. We find this thing, some suspicious things on the road. We don't worry about it. We keep going, and there's a white van on one of the corners.
Some suspicious things on the road. Can
I
you
don't
elaborate?
know if I should elaborate.
Okay. No, keep going then.
But yeah, it's some PG-13 things.
Cool.
And then we're like, all right, there's a weird white van here. And I made a joke how we were going to get kidnapped. And then the van followed us for a block. So we got really freaked
Oh.
out. But it was okay. It was just a painter. And then, I think, I am not sure. Anyways, so then we're still trying to find this graveyard. And we keep asking people where it is, if they know where this graveyard is in the town. And, like, no one knows where it is. And they're like, oh, why don't you go to the golf course? Like, it's over there. So we go to the golf course. Our legs get really cut up because we're walking through the long, like, rough of the grass. This is a very long story. I'm very sorry.
No, keep going.
And then we finally find the clubhouse. And it is horrible and it needs redone. But it's okay. And we asked some gentleman in his car the same question we keep asking. Do you know where the graveyard is?
There was a
And
clubhouse at the graveyard?
no. This is at the golf course. We're not at the graveyard yet.
sorry. I've
Yes.
jumped the gun.
And he did not know. So we kept walking, and I don't know, we passed a few other places. We passed like a gas station and a casino, and we kept asking where this graveyard was. And they just kept pointing us to the direction. And basically, we walked around for like an hour, and we kind of got lost. But we eventually happened upon a high school, and the graveyard was actually in the high school. So that was kind of creepy. And
The graveyard was in the high school.
not in the high school, but next to the high school. So, like, essentially, if you went to school there, it'd be like, okay, here's the graveyard, and then here's the graveyard, and then here's the entrance to my school.
Okay, now that you say that, I actually did go to school with 2 graveyards essentially bordering it.
Did you
So,
really?
Yeah.
It was
It was
weird.
more mausoleums than actual graves because you can't bury people in New Orleans.
What?
No, they rise out of the ground because of the water table.
Interesting.
Yep.
I didn't really need to know that.
Now you do.
But yeah, we eventually found the graveyard, but our family was already gone, so then we had to walk back, and it was horrid. And we almost got kidnapped, potentially. And that was
This painter, how do you know that they were a painter?
I just assumed, but I'm going to let Cole tell a story.
I'm hooked. I'm stuck on this painter, man.
I don't want to think about
It's
it.
always the
I
artsy
don't want to
ones.
think about it, so I'm going to let Cole
You know, David
pick.
Koresh used to play rock and roll. It's a joke for you fans in the 90s.
All right. What's my prompt?
Your prompt is, and I quote, party. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh no.
So, I was at a house party,
As one does.
as one does, and if you've ever been to a house party, you know exactly how those go. So
I haven't, actually.
after a good couple hours of revelry and
Bacchanalia.
exactly, I became entangled in a triangle of sorts. I had met this gentleman and made out with him, and then quickly afterwards discovered that his girlfriend was there at that party. I didn't know that exactly at the time, and so I got to watch the drama fall around me, and then I was the advisor to this man, asking for what to do and how he should apologize. So, with the best of, I helped as best as I could, but that really, that was a party. Oh no, and
That was a party.
that was a party. Oh no.
That's not where I thought the story was going.
So
When
that's
you
the
said
long story short.
triangle, I thought you meant 3 people had sort of like boxed you in
No,
like on the dance floor. No, you meant
He meant that.
you meant a triangle. of
I meant
people
literally, yeah. I was,
conceptually.
and that's what you get for having fun at a house party. All right, Brooke, you're up
Never
next.
been to a house party, so I'm glad that I haven't ever experienced that situation.
It is now my turn. Pick
It's
another
your
one.
turn.
What is it? Oh, it's a short one.
Looking from the top of a Ferris wheel.
This is less anxiety for me and more anxiety that my parents experienced because of me. But when I was very young, I went to the Ferris wheel in Chicago, which is very, very tall. And it was me, my dad, and my brother. And we decided, okay, we're going to go on this Ferris wheel. So we're at the top, and I'm short, and I'm small, and I can't see out the top.
Both true statements.
Yes, both true. And I was even shorter back then because I was a child. And I know that's hard to believe. But anyways, yeah, everyone, my brother and my dad just kept talking about how beautiful the scenery was. And I got really annoyed because I couldn't see. So I tried to stand on the seat. I still couldn't see. They were like, get down, get down. And then when we got to the very top of the Ferris wheel, I opened the door and looked out. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, it's really pretty down here. Wow, they're right. It's really nice. I did not realize the repercussions of that. So yeah,
I don't like that at all.
basically I could have died. And then we went back down, and my dad apparently was like, why does a ghost? And my mom was like, what's wrong with you? It's only a Ferris wheel. Why are you so afraid? And he's like, you have no idea.
Yeah,
what I have
that's
just
something that you
experienced.
don't tell the spouse that the child has done
Yeah.
on your watch. That's
But yeah.
just, no.
But yeah, not as much anxiety for me in that one. So maybe Cole has something better.
We have time for one more? All right.
Pick your most anxiety-inducing, Cole. I leave it up to you.
That's not how this works. You gotta choose.
You try to run a show. Hermit crab.
Hermit crab. This is
Oh, God.
this is going back when I was
Oh,
a lad.
no.
It's not necessarily anxiety. because prompts were told in some way. When I was a child, we went to the beach, and me and my brothers, we were like, yes, we need to get a hermit crab as a pet. We got to do it. So, that weekend, my parents were like, yes, and they got us a hermit crab. And we played with it for a couple of days, took care of it, and I think it was a 4 or 5 day vacation. I think by Wednesday, my folks started realizing how much of an issue that was. So they took us out with the hermit crab, of course, because, we wanted to have fun with the hermit crab. And I think while none of us were looking, they let the hermit crab loose into the ocean. And we turned back and we were like, where'd it go? And they said, oh, he wandered off and got lost in the ocean. And, we were upset and we didn't quite understand at the time. But now we know that he never made it. Maybe he's out there, living his best hermit crab life in the Gulf of Mexico. But if you see him, let us know. We're still looking to this day. All right.
I don't know how to end this segment. You know what?
Have
Oh,
you
don't
done-
do that.
Oh,
I don't want
you're
the two
right.
mics
Have
on
you
me.
gotten enough anxiety yet?
Yeah, I'd say I have. It's more just, cringe. Not in like the modern form of the definition. More just like cringe in that it gives you the shivers. It's not anxiety, it's something else. It's something more deep-seated, something a little bit more twisted. I'm sure we'll find out. Let's cut to the next segment.
Here is your meal. Enjoy.
Thanks, you too.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Jimmy Fallon. Whoa! Last week, I reviewed a Minion water bottle. This week, we got something special to talk about the new movie, Dune. We brought in special guest, Timothy Chalamet.
It's actually no. It's actually Timothy Chalamet. That's how you pronounce my last name, Chalamet.
What?
Yeah, it's like if you want to, you can like think about it like saying omelet. Like the popular breakfast food omelet. Like you say it like that.
I'm Jimmy Fallon. Of course I've heard of an omelet. Whoa!
That sounds like what someone would say if they haven't heard of an omelet.
Now, our second guest is Katy Perry. Say hi, Katy. Hello. Were you even in the movie, Katy? No. Well, that's all right. Now, on to the questions. What is the movie Dune? Timothy Chalamet?
Well, see, I was I was talking to the director about this actually the other day, and he said that he actually copied the entire story from Star Wars. Like it's like I like to think of it as like a different molding of Star Wars, but still the same thing. Like I think it's actually better in my opinion.
Whoa! Now, tell us a funny story from the set. Now!
Well, actually, I've got a funny story from the set. So I was on there with Zendaya, and we were both filming, the movie, and I was on there with Zendaya. You know Zendaya, right?
Yeah!
Yeah, Zendaya's cool. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, we were on the set, and I'm a bit thirsty. We're filming in the desert.
I'm Jimmy
a bit
Fallon!
thirsty. So I see a glass of milk on the table, and I drink it, and guess what? It was almond milk. I drank almond milk instead of regular milk. Oh, it was a funny experience.
Ha ha! My wife once gave me almond milk. She's dead!
What was that?
Anyways, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Whoa! Third question. If you were to describe the movie Dune in one word, how would you? Go!
I was actually in a really deep thought about this yesterday, actually. It's kind of a coincidence. But, yesterday I was, thinking, how could I summarize this movie into, a few words or one word, like you said, and, to sum up everything great and awesome about this movie. And I was really thinking about it. And, if I were to sum it up, into one word, I'd say, fantastical, amazing, dreamlike.
Jan! Katy Perry! Describe the movie in one word, now! Dune. I couldn't have said it better myself, because I'm Jimmy Fallon.
That's actually a really interesting response from Katy Perry, actually.
Shut up!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. The reason I act the way I do and am the most unfunny person alive, it's not the reason you think. It's because I suck. I suck so hard.
Wow. Yeah. That's deep. What you have to do, you've got to focus on the future here, Jimmy, all right? You've got to show that influences millions of people. You change people's lives with your laughter.
You really mean that?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, you're not that funny, but you're funny to a lot of people. I'm just saying here that you inspire millions. You bring light to a lot of people's dark days, alright? You bring laughter and joy to lives that have none of that, alright? Now, doesn't this feel good, opening up, being yourself, right?
No! I'm gonna stick pin Jimmy Fallon! Now, that's the end of the episode of Jimmy Fallon! Tune in next week to Jimmy Fallon, where we play random instruments.
Oh, that was anxiety-inducing. It not working. Ruined my bit. Well, that was certainly something. Yeah, it's been a really long week. We've just come out of midterms. It's getting colder. Yesterday afternoon, I almost exploded because of the gas leak in the house I'm renting because of the incompetence of people installing the stove in the second floor and the miscommunication that those people approved of it. Ain't that just the darndest thing? That puts me at 2 brushes with death during college related to potential explosions, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. It's getting pretty close to Halloween, so I have a spooky, anxiety-inducing story I'd like to tell you. Here, come with me. Thank you. All right, right here. There we go. So, that's better. On to the story. Well, it's less of a story and more of a fact. So, photons, am I right? Essentially, they make up light. They go real fast at the speed of light, but what are they? Like, they're waves, like radio or microwaves, all light. But they're also particles. Why? Nobody knows. But in certain circumstances, they will act like one of the two of them. So let's say you have a wall with a slot in it. Here's a little wall, and here's the slot, right here. Let's say you throw some tennis balls covered in paint at the wall. The pattern of the paint on the wall will match the slot. See? Tennis balls go in. The pattern on the second wall is the same. It makes sense. It's a rectangle. You know, you've got a little slot, balls go in. So, light does this. Light is acting as a particle in this moment. Now, let's add another slot to the wall. 1, 2. So, I've lost where the teleprompter is. There you go, thank you. Let's add a slot just next to it. And remember, these tennis balls aren't real tennis balls, right? They're an analogy for light, because tennis balls don't work this way. What kind of pattern do you think the tennis balls will make if we throw it at the two slots? Well, I'll tell you, not two slots. No, you get what's called an interference pattern, which is a bunch of random points. It's just scattered on the back wall. It's not two rectangular shapes behind the slots. This is because the tennis balls are bouncing off of each other, right? Tennis balls can hit each other. Particles can hit each other. This isn't just particles. Light is acting as a wave here, because when two waves hit, they create an interference pattern and go out. Let's say instead of just one, though, you throw, or instead of a bunch, you just throw one tennis ball at a time at this wall. You don't really pick a slot, you just throw one. You'd expect them to just be in two slot shapes since there's nothing for them to bounce off of, right? Wrong. They form the same interference pattern as if you were just throwing a bunch of them at the same time. Why? Because the tennis ball, which is light, is bouncing off the different potential ways the tennis ball could have been thrown. They're essentially hitting the ghosts of what could have been. This is called a probability wave, and it's terrifying. And that's not even the worst of it. If you actually look real close and you detect or observe which slot the tennis ball goes through, you'll find that the pattern on the back wall becomes two slots again, like this. The probability wave has collapsed. It's back to two perfect slots. I feel like the people in the studio don't appreciate my explanation. So the balls go through, they create two rectangles. The tennis balls are acting differently because you're looking at them. The photons in light know when we're looking at them, just like I know that the camera is not looking at me. Which, of course, flies in the face of all conventional laws of physics and logic. But these are some pretty spooky tennis balls. Which, of course, leads to the obvious question, if they can see us and we can see them, does that mean that the darkness under your bed can see you too? Well, that's all we have time for on today's Not So Late Show. Have a good night, sleep tight, and don't let the photons see you. Good night, everybody.